Hello, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Now, I just finished Layer Cake 19 project, which was made with some triangles. We're going to be using some of these same batiks, including these bright yellows and oranges, but we're going to cut rectangles instead of triangles. I know that I want to make the same 6x6 block layout that I did with the Layer Cake number 19. So I'm picking out 18 light and medium and 18 darks to make a total of 36 blocks. I'm trying to make sure that every block has a yellow or an orange in it. And I'm only making 2 cuts per block, so I'm pairing up 3 colors. So I'm pairing up a yellow or an orange with 2 other colors. Once I had my 36 blocks off to the left, I folded up the remaining layer cakes, and those will be set aside for the next layer cake video. The last video, Layer Cake 19, the cuts were not the same on every set. In this case, every set is going to be the same. So what I'm doing here is I'm stacking up a set of 3, and since I feel comfortable cutting 6 pieces of fabric at one time, I'm stacking up one set of 3 and another set of 3, and then I will make my cuts. And I'm trying to make the bright color in these 2 sets different. My first cut will be to divide these 10-inch squares into half with a cut at 5 inches. Then I will take the left-hand side of 5-inch by 10-inch. I'm going to divide that into a 6-inch and a 4-inch section with one cut. Now I'm going to slow down for this next part. What I'm doing is I'm splitting up these 2 sets the way I want them to be in the quilt. So I've got set 1 and set 2. Next, on the smallest rectangle, I'm putting the blue on top, and the larger rectangle on the left, I'm putting the red on top. So now that set is all mixed up. And then I'm mixing up the second set the same way. So every time I stitch these together, each piece will be a different color. And since I do love to chain piece, what I'm doing is stacking these on top of each other now that they're mixed up. And I'm setting those aside off screen. And when I get the whole stack done, I will stitch the small rectangle to the medium rectangle. Then I will add that last 5-inch by 10-inch piece. Next, I stacked up the fabric next to my sewing machine, and first I'm going to sew the 2 smaller rectangles together. Then I'll be adding that 5-inch by 10-inch piece. Once I finished chain piecing the first 2 pieces together, I separated my chain and then laid these out in the exact order I had stitched them in and matched those up with the 5-inch by 10-inch piece. Since I'm working with batiks here, it was pretty easy to just finger press that first seam. When I had the blocks completed, before I trimmed them, I kind of did some thinking about what I wanted to do for a layout. I thought about this type of layout where all the large rectangles are pointing to the middle. I think this layout would be more effective with a single color on those large 5 by 10-inch rectangles. I spent a little bit of time sorting out my yellows and my orange for the big rectangle, just to make sure those got spaced out evenly in the quilt. I decided to build my rows of 6 with one 5-inch by 10-inch rectangle at the top of the block, and then the next block I would turn sideways. I divided my blocks into 2 stacks, the lights and brights and the darks. Then I was just going to stitch the 18 pairs together, one with the larger rectangle at the top of the block and one with the larger rectangle on the left side of the block. I'm going to be trimming my blocks to 9 inches square. I am making sure the fabric overlaps my 9-inch line on the left side and the bottom side. Then I'm lining up my 4.5-inch horizontal ruler line with that horizontal seam. I also tried to line up that vertical seam with the 5.5-inch line on my ruler. Then I can make that cut on the top and the right-hand side. I can flip this block around, line it up on 9 inches. And again, that horizontal seam is at 4.5 inches. That vertical seam, since it's on the other side now, is at 3.5 inches. Now I'm going to zoom in and cut this one more time just so you can see it a little bit more closely. I'm going to line up that horizontal seam line with the 4.5-inch line on my ruler, and then I'm trying to get that vertical seam right about 5.5 inches. After I make that top and that right hand cut and flip this block around, the horizontal seam will still be 4.5 inches, but that vertical seam will be 3.5 inches now. With those blocks all trimmed to 9 inches, it is time to take these 2 stacks to the sewing machine. It's going to be easy to chain piece these 18 pairs because I'm lining them all up the same way. I realized I had my walking foot on my machine from another project, so I swapped that out for my 1/4-inch foot to make sewing these blocks together a lot easier. Once I had the first round of pairs all stitched together, I started building my rows. First, I stitched a pair to another pair, and then I added a 3rd pair to complete the row. And I did want to point out, if your rows are long enough after that first joining, you can flip the tail end around and add your next pair. I got the other 5 rows chain pieced together, and then it was time to figure out how I wanted to lay out this quilt. The first layout I chose, I had all the rows going the exact same way that I stitched them. Those larger 5 by 10-inch sections create 3 vertical lines through the quilt. Next, I simply turned rows 1, 3, and 5 the opposite way, and I liked that layout a lot better. It was more random. This quilt seemed like it would be pretty easy to mess up when I took it to the sewing machine, so I did clip rows together on the floor before I went to the sewing machine. I also put a marker on row 1, row 3, and row 5 on the left block, so that would help me orient those blocks as well when I started stitching pairs of rows together. There isn't a lot of matching to be done in this layout, which is great. I separated these pairs of rows. Then the first row I'm looking at here, you can see that little clip. That is my first row, leftmost block. I'm going to lay that flat on my table. Then I'm going to find the third row, which is the second pair, and I'm going to orient that properly, and then I can flip that upside down and clip these two pairs together to get them the way I want them. Once my rows 1 through 4 were all joined, I used the same method of orienting myself with the clips to get rows 5 and 6 pinned on and stitched together. And here you can see I put 3 clips on row 5 because that is my third pair. Just like Layer Cake 19, I am not bordering this quilt, so once I stitch this last seam, this quilt is done. Here's a look at that finished quilt top. It's so bright and cheerful. I just love it. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.